It was like that. It was the hottest ticket in town at the time.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah,
Now
they give it away for free.
well, beginning of the season, yeah, you could probably like walk right into the AAA with no security check. You know? But,
walk into a luxury box and no.
yeah, you walk right in and pick a seat. You know, but like the Marlins, you could walk right into the Marlins Stadium here and probably go pitch. You know? But
Eric
I don't know, they
Jackson.
might turn it around, man. If, like Jeter's crew actually buys them, which I think they are.
I don't think they're gonna. Who knows, man? Who knows if they're gonna turn it around? That stadium's ugly, by the way. That's the worst baseball stadium, I think.
I've never been.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. That's their new one, right?
Yeah, it's a new one. It's like it looks like it doesn't look like a baseball stadium.
It gives me like a carnival feel.
Yes.
It's really loud.
Yeah,
I like the classics, man. I've been on a lot of trips the last 2 years. I went to Fenway and Wrigley last year, and those
Fenway's awesome.
Fenway is like I'm a Yankees fan, so I fucking hate the Red Sox, but that park is just and the atmosphere there. The atmosphere at Yankee Stadium sucks. The new one, it's just so cold and corporate. But Fenway is just old time baseball. That's good shit.
Fenway, it's like you're on top of like the action, you know. Like it's not as like Camden. I'm in between DC and Baltimore, and like the Nats ballpark's very much like what you said. It's a very like kind of like corporate. And where the Orioles play, it's like very like Camden Yards is very like much like kind of like old school, and you're on top of the action. Like last time I went there, I remember I was telling my wife, I was like, this feels so much different. Like I feel closer to the action than I did when I go to like the Nats ballpark.
Yeah.
So, well, we're live, and we went on a little bit of a sports rant there because we're talking about because it's hockey season. Oh, it's playoff hockey season. This is like my favorite time of the year with the NBA playoffs and NHL hockey.
This is good, and so is October when you've got like playoff baseball, hockey starting, basketball. Like you got NFL, like you got every single sport. It's so good.
Yeah, summer's like it's kind of slow. Like actually, no, I was saying in the winter, like going into like the summers, like a little bit slow. You know.
Yeah.
During the fall is that's where it's at.
Yep, that's true, man. It's true. So, all right, gentlemen. So, welcome to podcast number 67. I can't believe it's 67 now. It's crazy. I think before we know, we'll hit that milestone 100. We'll have to celebrate a party or something. Maybe B-Money will buy us a round of beers or something.
Yeah, I got you, man.
Yeah, some Steel Reserve. Yep. So we have a special guest this evening. We have Jeff from the Super Deformed Gamescast, which is our sister podcast. Jeff, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Happy to talk about video games. There's some stuff that happened today.
Yeah, we got some news on one of the bigger IPs in the gaming industry. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. Speaking of SDGC, Megs, as I like to call him, is not going to be making it this evening. Yes, but big shout out to John. And yep. And without further ado, the rest of my co-hosts. You got B Money. B Money, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. Just hoping for this Bulls win tonight, man. We need to pull it out. You know, and ready to talk video games, man. Yeah,
you know what? I've been meaning to talk to you about Dwayne Wade's comments about Jimmy Butler comparing him to LeBron James. We'll have to talk about that another time, though.
Wait, what happened? Never mind. I don't want to go.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I do.
Kind of made like a kind of comparison. It really wasn't like in depth. Like it was. It just got taken to another level, I think. But yeah, we'll have to talk about it another time, Eric. Yeah. So Eric,
I'd like to know sports-wise in the NBA, who would be like the PS4 Pro as a player, and who would be the Scorpio, the Beast in the NBA at this point? Like that.
I would say LeBron would be the Scorpio.
Still?
Yeah. He's the best player in the game, man. I think he is.
Yeah, he's still the dominant guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's still, I don't know who the pro would be, though. I don't know, man.
Draymond Green.
Definitely not Draymond Green.
Okay.
He might be the switch. Yeah.
Steph Curry's the switch.
Yeah. So, Eric, what's going on, man?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Just ready to talk some games. You know, it's nice to have Jeff on tonight. Thanks again for coming through, bro.
Yep. Absolutely, man. And my brother from Rivia, Sam, what's going on, man?
Oh, not much. And by not much, I mean, just a bunch of stuff. Really busy, but lots of good stuff going on in the industry to talk about. So let's get to it.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's do it. Well, why don't we
games?
Yeah, why don't we talk about what everyone's playing real quick? So we'll start with our guest tonight. Jeff, what are you playing right now, man?
Lots of stuff, I guess. I'm kind of all over the place. I'm always trying to catch up on old games I haven't played because I feel like my backlog just never ends. So I played Inside on the weekend, and that was a trip.
That was funny, dude. Watching you on Twitter, like just chronicling. It was like a documentary. I was just getting some popcorn, waiting for the next tweet.
I was like, I wanted to go more in detail, but I still don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't played it because, like, man, I did not see that last 30 minutes coming. It's just kind of like, I thought I knew where the game was going, and then I was like, oh, okay. But no, it was really good. I'm still trying to wrap my head around everything that happened. I did a little bit of reading on some theories, but I kind of wanted to give myself some time to form my own thoughts on it. But it's definitely something that everyone should at least play and experience for themselves. But aside from like the thematic stuff, like it's a really good game.
Mm-hmm.
It controls really tight, which I was surprised. A lot of those games are kind of cumbersome. And it looks gorgeous. All the screenshots I don't think did it justice because I mean it can look very bland at times. The very dark black and white dreary. But it's beautiful, and the way everything's just so seamless. It was a joy to play through for sure. Other than that, I'm just plugging away at Mass Effect Andromeda and Persona 5. Those will probably take me till July to finish. I don't go through games very quick. I just don't have a lot of free time lately. So I just finished Persona 4 Golden after 5 years last week.
Nice.
So making progress, yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff, how many hours have you logged into Persona 5 so far?
30 minutes.
I just started, so I'm only like 4 hours, kind of. I'm still working on the first dungeon, waiting for. I know they need to introduce you to everything, but it just drives me nuts. It did the same in Persona 4 and this one too, where it's like I just want to manage my own free time. After school, I want to go out and do But they gotta teach you all the mechanics and introduce you to all the characters. So I'm just waiting for that to finish. But it's good. I'm really liking it.
Yeah, and then you kind of go through like that tutorial phase of the game where they're kind of showing you all the ropes, and then they kind of it just opens up, and it gets much better. I'm like 45 hours into it, and I just love it. It's such a great game. It's
just fun to play. Like the music and the aesthetic and stuff is just so, I don't know, it gets me pumped up.
Yeah. And I love how stylish the turn-based combat is. It's like, whoa! It kind of makes like it made it cool for me to play like a turn-based combat game again. Like
and even the transition out of battle, kind of the music plays. You kind of start running, and you slowly walk, and then it transitions back into the backgrounds. And it's, well done.
I'm not gonna lie, Jeff. I'm always bobbing my head after that, and it gets me hyped for the next battle.
Me too.
It really does, yeah. All right. So that's it in terms of games then.
Pretty much, yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Awesome, man. Well, B-Buddy, what are you playing, man? Did we lose B-Money?
B.
All right, maybe
B, come back.
B, holler if you hear me.
Yeah, holler if you hear me. Yeah, all right. Eric, what are you playing, man?
Honestly, I've been kind of like busy lately, so I haven't had a chance to really sit and sink into too much of anything, but BioShock has pulled me back in. Picked up the collection at the spring sale, and like I think I might have mentioned this last week. Like I said, I'm just gonna jump in, play around for a couple hours, just see what's up, and yeah, it sucked me back in. So been playing that. Been dabbling with Nier, still holding strong on that 40 minutes of Persona when I first picked it up. Same status on Breath of the Wild. I need to get back to that. Yeah, it's just just a lot to play, not enough time, and just kind of one of those things. So, and I was actually playing a little bit of Forza Horizon like earlier today, but Forza Horizon 3. All
right, cool. Yeah, we got a little bit. We got some news on that game too. I guess it's the Matchbox car is going to be available for that. Is that mentioned?
Yeah, which looks pretty awesome. So
it looks pretty cool.
It looks crazy.
Yeah.
That game keeps getting better. I don't have it. I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet. I'm gonna have to pick it up at some point.
Yeah, throw it on the backlog, man.
Yeah.
It's kept its value surprisingly well. Like it hasn't dropped below $40, at least on Amazon that I've seen.
Oh wow!
And nor should it. I mean, it's quality. I mean, you can tell the games that take the hit pretty quick. I mean, we look at what trying to think of a good example.
Titanfall 2, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Even Mass Effect here in Canada was on sale for $50, which is like $30 off. So normally 80, so it's like almost half price.
Oh wow!
For Honor,
Deus Ex. I mean, Deus Ex was like $20 the following week or something like that.
You can get Deus Ex, no joke, for $15 on a high day.
Yeah, I've seen it plenty of times for that price. It has nothing. It's not speaking on the quality of those games. It's just, I guess in some ways it is speaking to the quality, but it's just Forza holding its value is not surprising, I should say.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to throw that in the back burner then and hop on with you guys. So, yeah, Sam, what are you playing, man?
Okay, so kind of like Jeff, I've been chugging away at Mass Effect Andromeda. The part I'm at the story is pretty good. I've been enjoying the game not crashing on me when I'm playing. That always makes it a lot better to be able to enjoy it that way. Let's see here. I have been playing a little bit of Voodoo Vince Remastered. That's what I'll say about it. It's not standout in any way, shape, or form, but it is very nostalgic. I don't know if anyone here ever played a platformer called Spyro: A Hero's Tale.
I never.
Have you guys ever picked up?
Yep, I remember Spyro. Yep.
Okay, all right. So I game is very, very similar in terms of picking up the collectibles and the combat and the platforming and stuff like that. And I spent way too much time playing A Hero's Tale, so it brought me back a little bit.
Yeah,
so it's fun. $15, play anywhere, sure, it's worth it. But the real game that I've been digging into is Outlast 2. Holy crap! Have any of you guys played the original Outlast?
I started it, but never actually finished it.
I got about halfway through. I think I played like 3 or 4 hours. I don't know. I don't think it was a super long game.
Yeah, the first Outlast is. You can beat it in like 4 hours, 5 hours.
Okay.
Okay, let's see here. So, Outlast 2. Basically, I say this in a very good, positive way for Red Barrels, for the developer. It makes a mockery of the first game. Like, the first game, going back and I was looking at some footage on YouTube, it isn't scary. Not by comparison. It really isn't. The whole fundamentalist theme they've gone with here and the crazies, and I don't want to spoil too much, but the design aesthetic, it's like Resident Evil 7, the most recent one, with none of the, somewhat black humorous elements, if that makes any sense. Some of the dark humor that Resident Evil has, that's not here. And you don't have the option to fight back, so it's just pure terror all the way through 100%. And I'm just saying, when you are walking through a cornfield and you hear some crazy cultist reciting pseudo scripture that's been butchered and all these satanic verses, it makes the hair stand up on the back of your neck, to say the least. It's something else. I thought I was way further into it than I really am. I've spent about 5 hours with it so far, so I figured I was getting close to the end, and it turns out I'm only about halfway. This one's a lot longer than the first one. So if you are a fan of horror, I definitely recommend you pick it up. I will warn you, though, there is some very strong content here. Not just in the gore, but in some of the psychological aspects of what being in a cult would do to someone and how it breaks people down psychologically and what they convince others to do. It's very disturbing stuff. So that is a bit of forewarning I would throw out there.
Yeah, that's not something I'll be picking up.
Hey, you said that about RE7. Look what happened. It became one of your favorite games ever.
There's a difference between, I think, RE7 and, satanic cults. That just,
No, it's not.
Yeah,
I like these games, but they're just so exhausting to play to me. I remember even playing the original Outlast, I couldn't do more than an hour at a time because it's just so like I don't know how to describe it. It's just it's exhausting. Like I'm physically beaten down from the anxiety and the tension. Like it's
mental torture. That's what it is.
I understand what you're saying. Like it's brutal. There have been some scenes where I literally just put my controller down and I was kind of cringing at the screen. Like, no, come on, seriously.
Oh man,
no.
Yeah. There's those games where you have that moment where you're just like, yeah, I'm not going down there. Nope.
Yeah. You walk. So like, this is not a spoiler. This happens in like the first 10 minutes. So there's like this 7-foot lanky, creepy woman, carrying a pickaxe over her shoulder, reciting like, "And behold, the lamb will be slaughtered for the burial of the revelation." I'm like, yeah.
No,
you handle that. I'm out of here.
You want some of this, old man? No.
Come on, Enrique.
No, I don't want it. I'm not playing that game. I'm telling you.
Enrique, here you go, man. Turn all the lights off. Put on the headphones.
Nope. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. No, I mean Jeff's saying it causes mental. Jeff's saying it causes mental fatigue. I mean, I'm not. That doesn't sound like fun.
Just as a little fun fact before we're done with Outlast 2. You know how you can see like how many people have, or the percentage of gamers that have completed the different trophies or achievements. There is an achievement, you guys might remember this, it was in the first game, it's in this one, for beating the game without reloading the camcorder batteries on Insane. And on Insane, you can save and get checkpoints, but if you die, you restart. No one has earned it yet. It is at a flat 0.00%.
Yeah, it's like start over when you die type of, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy.
Jeez. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm just not. I'm not going to play this game. Is this coming out on VR? By the way, I mean, is that?
They've said not at this moment, but they're not opposed to it. It's just they have no plans right now.
God, that game would be scary as shit in VR. Yeah, I heard RE7 was scary in VR.
It's actually very reasonably priced. It's $29.99.
Right. And what's this Outlast Trinity? Collection.
That is all the games on a physical bundle. I wanted to get it digitally because I've never actually gotten the Whistleblower DLC for the first game. So I was like, hey, that'd be great, but it's only a physical bundle, and I was like, yeah,
right.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, it is what it is.
It's like $31, $31.99 right now, like Best Buy with the Gamers Club unlocked.
If you've never played any of them and you didn't get Outlast when it was free on Games with Gold or PlayStation Plus, that's a steal.
Yeah, which I did. I got both, so yeah. So I wouldn't buy that, but yeah, it sounded like a steal to me. I was like, wow, all the games in one collection. Go for it.
Yeah, yeah, but you can go pick it up, Eric.
I'm gonna ship it to you.
Nope, don't do it, man. I'll ship it back. B Money, are you back, man?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you, dude. You're good.
Yeah, all right. So, Sam, is that it in terms of what you're playing right now?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, awesome. B Money, what are you playing right now, man?
I haven't really had much time to play anything. You guys know I have a baby on the way, and my wife is off now, so my gaming time is like cut in half. She's always want to do something.
Mm-hmm.
But when I've had a chance to play,
5.
Yeah, I was playing Persona 5, man. That's pretty much the only game I've had a chance to play. I've turned on the Switch, played some Puyo Puyo Tetris, and that's really about it. So
how is that, by the way?
It's pretty good, man. It's actually a little harder than I thought it was. Like the AI is definitely smarter than I remember from any other Tetris game. So it's an enjoyment. It's just something to pass the time by. While I'm sitting at appointments with my wife and whatnot. So it's something to play.
All right, hey, B-Man, I don't mean to interrupt you, man. I got to address something in the live chat here. Okay, who's Endless Echo? You guys see this? Huh?
Not sure. Never seen him before.
Yeah, he's Sam. Yeah.
Get that boot ready.
You might have to get that boot ready, Sam.
All right, I'll just stretch my fingers.
I need to run what he's saying through Google Translate or something. I can't quite.
I'll tell you what, I'm feeling really nice. I've had a long, stressful day, dude. Just clean it up, and I'll ignore it for now. Okay?
Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by Snowflax fan base, or of course not FOCRS. I don't. Yeah. Anyhow,
I'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah. I just had to address that real quick, B Money Man. I'm sorry, man.
No, it's all good, man. But yeah, like I said, not much other than that, man. Persona 5 has been life. I love going in, trying to change different personas and fuse personas together to make stronger ones that I don't have, and just hanging out with the crew, gaining money and taking on new bosses. So it's been a great time.
Who's your favorite character so far? With the group, the Phantom Thieves.
Man, Captain Kidd all day, man. That dude he's just so funny, man. Which is I think his name is Ryuju or something. Right, like
Ryuji, I think, or something like that.
Ryuji, yeah.
He's funny.
He's funny as hell, man. So that's my favorite character so far. But
he's kind of like the comic relief in the game.
He is.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's the best one so far. I like Ann too, but Captain Kidd, like, I love his persona. I think it's the best one.
Yeah, he's got a good one. But the Joker, I mean, the Joker's abilities to do all to create all those personas or carry those personas it's just ridiculous.
Oh yeah,
it's ridiculous. And actually that makes the combat a lot of fun for me too.
Yeah, like switching personas on the fly.
Yep.
Looking at different weaknesses and stuff like that. Yeah, it makes it interesting, man. Definitely got to be on your toes.
Yeah. All right. So
I see that Atlas is lightening up on their streaming ban.
Are they?
Barely, but yeah.
It's like Trump's revised Muslim or whatever. It's not. It's not much better.
Shit. Oh my goodness. All right. So like many of you on the podcast, this evening I am playing Persona 5 and I'm about 46 hours into it, I think 46. And look, it's a great game. And it was such a nice change of pace for me coming off of Horizon Zero Dawn, to come to a game that it just completely different. It has a different style to it. The music's great. I'm not going to get into too much because we've talked about it, I think, a lot. But great game. If you're into turn-based RPGs, it's something you definitely want to pick up. And this is actually my first Persona. And I remember, Jeff, I think I was talking to you when I mentioned it or tweeted out that I was getting it. And I remember you telling me it was kind of like weird or something, or it was kind of like quirky or whatever. But I love that. I love that about the game.
Mm-hmm.
That in some ways it doesn't take itself serious, and in other ways it does.
And it's cool because it can be really goofy at times, but then it can get really it can go there with some of those some of the themes and stuff that it explores.
Yeah, there's some sexual undertones in that game.
Yeah.
What were you saying, B-Money?
No, I was going to say there's definitely some serious topics throughout the game that, kind of relate to stuff that's going on in the world right now. So it's very interesting for them to kind of explore that in this game. So.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Outside of that, I actually picked up Wonder Boy. Dragon's Trap. Has anyone picked that up?
I've been on the fence, man. How is it? Everybody says like it's really easy and it's very simple.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, man. I mean, it's a remake of the it came out on the Sega Master System, back in I think the mid to late 80s. I don't think it was that popular in North America. I think it was popular in Europe for the Master System, but yeah, I mean, it's I just picked it up. I had like $25 to burn on Xbox Live, and it was there, and I picked it up, and I'm liking it. It's cool. My 7-year-old likes it too. He's been playing it a little bit, and it's actually nice because it's like if I need a Persona break, it's a nice game to kind of just pick up. It's pretty easy to pick up, and it's a 2D side scroller. Jeff, we had a conversation about 2D side scrollers on Twitter this week, right?
I don't know if I feel comfortable. I don't want the mob to come after me.
All right, so we won't go there, but It started with. Did it start with Mega Man or something? I thought it had something to do with Mega Man.
I was trolling John. I think I just said Mega Man sucks. It's like he was talking about Marvel vs. Capcom, and I was only interested in the Marvel characters. But I just never. I grew up in that era, but I had what was called an Intellivision. It was like an ancient piece of shit console from the 70s. And
I remember television,
yeah. So, but that's just what I didn't play a lot of games when I was like really young, and my parents never got me anything. So, N64 was like my first real. That's when I really started playing stuff. So I missed a lot of that 2D era, and I just fine. I respect the games, but I'm just bad at them. Like I'm really bad at Mega Man, even the old Mario games. I just never got used to. They got that really specific timing and momentum to them. And it's just not really my cup of tea. I played Donkey Kong on the Wii U. That was a great game. Tropical Freeze. There's a couple I like, but in general, I prefer the 3D stuff. But whatever.
Dude, Tropical Freeze is a tough one, man.
It is.
That game is hard.
Yeah,
that game is harder than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, that's why I laugh when people say, "Oh man, Nintendo, those kiddie games." All right, yeah, get your ass handed to you. Yeah.
That's too funny. But you know what's cool is that they there's actually they have a retro mode, and I think you hit the left trigger or right trigger. I don't remember, to go from current to retro. It's so seamless how it goes from current to retro, and they actually let you change the music too, so you can actually play you can actually listen to the original soundtrack while you're playing the game. So definitely cool. If you're into 2D side scrollers, you may want to check it out. I think it's like $20. I think something like that. It wasn't too crazy. Other than that, I've been dabbling in Rise a little bit too. And it's funny with Rise, I'm actually enjoying it more the second time around than I did the first time.
You know what's funny? That is a very, very common thing I'm hearing. A lot of people are saying that they maybe judged it just a little too harshly the first go round. So I'm finding that really interesting.
Time helps too. I didn't play it. It's actually one I've been meaning to try out on my Xbox. But I think when you come as a launch title and have that much, there was a lot of focus on it. There wasn't a ton of games out when this generation launched, and I think when you remove the expectations and that pressure and just kind of enjoy it for what it is, it's a lot easier to be happy with what's there.
Yeah, and I think it's a great point. Yeah, and and coming off of like just playing Persona 5, and it's Rise is one of those games you can just pick up, and I'm finding a lot of I'm getting a lot of satisfaction out of it, just doing those like combos, some of those QTE combos, which I think when I first started playing the game, I was probably a little bit too critical about it, and I was like looking for this game to be something that it probably wasn't. But it's fun. I'm having fun with it, and so I just I was really surprised that I was enjoying it the second time around more than the first time. So I'll probably because that's not a very long game from what I remember. My goal is to have it probably completed by end of this month, or I'm sorry, middle of next month. So as I juggle that between that and Persona 5. So, but that's it for me in terms of games. I don't have much time for anything else at the moment. So, all right, gentlemen, why don't we get to the first big topic of the evening? Call of Duty, World War II. This is something that was leaked last week, and I'm sorry, guys. Hold on here a sec. My wife's texting me about something important, actually. When duty calls. All right, sorry about that, guys. So where was I? Oh, Call of Duty World War II. So Sledgehammer, Activision, they had the official released official release trailer today. They had a press conference revealing the game. Game is again set in World War II. I don't know. Like I don't know. I was kind of like whatever about the trailer. It just
say it, man. It was meh.
Yeah, I mean, it was yeah. I mean, it was okay, I guess, but I don't know.
The thing is, you could show that trailer to anyone, and like, it could be any random piece of World War II media.
Yeah,
I know there's only certain events that you need to but just the D-Day landing was like Enrique and I were talking. I think about Allied Assault.
Yeah, Medal of Honor.
Like,
yeah,
or like the Medal of Honor. It's like it could be that. It looks nicer, but there's no. What are you bringing new to the table? Like I watch it, it's the same kind of even the gruff like military banter and not banter so much, but there's your squad mates and then the kind of gruff commander telling you this, form up and like it. I don't know. I thought they were going to maybe try something a little bit different, but it felt very safe.
Yeah, it did, and I don't know. I wasn't totally excited about it, and yeah. What do you guys?
It looks nice.
Yeah, it looks nice. It looks nice. B Money, what'd you think, man? Did we lose B again?
B.
Uh-oh. I think B Money's experiencing technical difficulties this evening. All right, Sam.
If you can hear us, we can't hear you.
Yeah. All right, Sam. What were your thoughts on it, man?
I'm going to agree with Jeff, and from the sounds of it, Eric. Meh. I mean, but at the same time, I mean, I applaud you for moving away from some of the crazy stuff. That has been like. The COD community has clearly stated they don't want any more of the science fiction stuff. They want boots on the ground. So, I mean, I applaud them for that decision. Mm-hmm. I think it certainly has a lot of potential. Is there? I'll talk about what I liked. There's a new mode called War, I believe, which is going to be like an Axis versus Allies, ground assault type mode, which is going to be 48 players. So they're actually doubling the amount of players Call of Duty has ever had before. That's pretty cool.
Battlefield.
But I mean, hey, for give them credit where credit's due. They're introducing a medic class again. Very reminiscent of Battlefield, but like you're not going to regenerate health in at least some modes. They haven't really specified whether it's just campaign, just multiplayer, or how that's going to work. So that's cool. That's good and all. The issue is for me. I'm a little skeptical because of how Call of Duty has been in recent years. So I'm wondering, okay, how are you going to sell the microtransactions on this one? Because there's less crazy attachments and stuff for you to work with here. So how's all that going to work? Maybe I'm just assuming the worst. And then the other thing is, it's like, we've seen the D-Day landing. You could do a boots on the ground setting, but give us a new war. I mean, there are plenty of other conflicts in history that, even if they're much smaller in scale, they would be interesting to cover. They were critical parts of history, like the Korean War. That's just the immediate one that jumps to mind, but there's plenty of others.
Well, and when you talk about scale, even within World War II, there is a lot of smaller battles, and
exactly, yeah.
And I guarantee you, there's small stories out there that can be just as good and just as interesting. And I guess I shouldn't be surprised that they went after the big stuff because it's Call of Duty and it's big and flashy and bombastic, but the way they talked about this game, I felt like they might be interested in exploring some of the things that maybe you don't know about.
But maybe what Call of Duty needs isn't a bombastic thing. Maybe it needs a smaller, more intimate story that they like to talk about, like they were talking in the live stream about how their emotional story is so fantastic. And it's like, guys, I'm gonna question this. I'm gonna disagree. Like, I don't know. I've been very underwhelmed in recent years, but it's like, if you want to go for that, you don't have to do Normandy and the Eastern European theater when America got involved all over again. I mean, let's consider the fact: how many Call of Duty games have covered World War II? Not games. I don't mean video games. Period. Just Call of Duty games.
Call of Duty now, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Big Red one, was that? Like
a Big Red one was separate.
Yeah.
And then World at War.
World at War, yeah.
All of those games were, whether from the Russian side, the Polish side, the French side, or the American side, they were all focused on the final stages of the Eastern European theater, with the exception of part of World at War, which was in the Pacific. There is way more potential out there. There were important pieces of the campaign that took place in Africa. There was the Italians, their involvement in World War II.
Oh, someone linked me. Apparently, there was DLC for Allied Assault that was set in Africa and Italy. So.
Oh, okay, really?
All
All right.
there you go.
All right.
One piece of
Okay.
DLC. Yeah.
Excuse me. There's that. And then but what about the Australian offensive, the Kokoda Trail? That was a grueling, brutal environment that they were just thrown into the meat grinder with no real warning. But it was up to them to make sure Australia wasn't open to invasion, given that America was reeling from Pearl Harbor at the time. I'm just throwing things out there.
Yeah.
There's plenty of stuff they could have gone with. And I say all this to say, I am sure that Call of Duty World War II is going to be fine. I actually have trouble thinking it's going to be a bad game, but it doesn't need to be a good game. It doesn't need to be a safe game. They need to push the franchise in different ways. And what this screams to me of, including the fact that they're bringing back Nazi zombies, and evidently it's going to be remastered Black Ops 1 and 2 maps, is they're just going, okay, we just need to give them what we know works. This has worked in the past. We'll throw it to them. They'll be happy. Rant over.
Sam, thank you for that rant. We appreciate it as always. Brap. B-Money, what are your thoughts, man?
Irrelevant.
Eric gives us a meh, and you said irrelevant.
But don't go by me, because I felt Call of Duty's been meh for a very long time.
Me too.
So I'm not the best gauge. But if I can play devil's advocate for a minute, I do want to kind of visit something. We can spice things up a little bit, because I noticed, Chicken said in the chat, that he felt they played it safe. No one called him out. Sam is saying they played it safe, but we had this very same discussion about something like Gears of War 4, where I felt they played that safe.
Mm-hmm.
Games. That's just kind of how it is nowadays.
If I can offer a rebuttal devil's advocate to your devil's advocate before we get off on a real rabbit trail here, I think a difference is Call of Duty comes out every single year, rotated by 3 developers like clockwork. Gears of War was taking a break from the franchise, and it was the Coalition's first real game.
Okay, so
I'm just saying,
if I can play triple devil's advocate, that means by that argument, Coalition could have done a little bit more to push forward, where you're coming on a longer development cycle. I'm just saying,
they didn't have a longer development cycle. They had less, actually.
Well, you're saying Call of Duty comes out every year.
Right, but Call of Duty has a 3-year development cycle.
Didn't they say 2 years? Sledgehammer said 2 years. They were working on the game for 2 years.
No, it's been. When was it? Advanced Warfare was 2014.
Mm-hmm.
So they said they spent 2.5 years traveling.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm saying if we're going to tag one game for playing it too safe, I had that argument that I thought Gears 4 played it way too safe, and I understood why. You're letting Coalition ease into the bath, slowly, but
I just think there's way more of an excuse for them, and I'm not saying it was perfect, but I think there's way more of an excuse for them playing it safe than there is Call of Duty.
Both games kind of answer, I guess, in a way what the fans want. But me as a fan, of Gears 4, I would have loved to have seen at this point in time in the long history of Gears something, to propel things a little bit differently.
They should have had Marcus Phoenix storming Normandy.
You know what? I would play that game.
I would
imagine Marcus Phoenix. Come on!
And you sit there like, that was different.
Yeah,
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
What about Gears kart racer? It could be like a kart racer mini game.
Yeah. No, I agree with you guys. Part of my, as Eric said, my reaction to World War II was, and like you and I were talking about on DM today, Jeff. Like for me, it's like, okay, I've been there, done that with storming Normandy. For me, it's probably going to look better. They did say, and I think you brought this up, Sam. The one thing I recall Sledgehammer, the one point they were kind of driving home was that they were really focusing on the relationship, of the group or the soldiers, in the story. They're really trying to kind of drive that point home.
That was just their jab at Battlefield.
Yeah.
They told multiple stories.
That's my other big worry, is that none of these games, Battlefield or Call of Duty, have ever managed to make me care about their characters.
Yep.
And if they're going to go all in on that, then it needs to be well written. And I liked Advanced Warfare a lot, actually, but it was goofy and just like it was just a dumb.
Kevin Spacey.
Jeff, you didn't feel connected to Stoke
when I pressed F to pay my respects, I felt nothing.
You know what? Let's give them credit. At least they tried. It's sort of like there was an attempt, as opposed to there not being an attempt at all in most of them.
Yeah, you talk about taking a chance. Remember when they did that airport like murder scene? Like you were the terrorists just going through the mall?
The Russians. Yeah, you came up the elevator of the Russians.
Yeah, it was like, I mean, talk about like discomfort. It was like, ooh, this feels.
That was awkward. I remember. I was like, should I be doing this? You know?
Yeah, you're like crying as you're doing it though.
Didn't they add something to the game to give you the option to skip it or something like that?
Yeah, I think so.
It was too graphic.
Yeah. It warned graphic violence, and you can skip this level if you want.
Yeah, they gave you the option. Because
how many people skipped it?
I don't know. I don't think a lot of people did.
Yeah, that was something. I was like, whoa.
But do you think it's fair that people have maybe the expectation when we hear story or narrative when it comes to World War II that people may automatically think this game needs to deliver the kind of story that we got from a movie like Saving Private Ryan? I mean, because that's kind of my thought of it too. When I heard Sledgehammer saying, "Oh, we're going to focus on the relationships, the stories,"
right?
Pay homage to the people that served in World War II and all the families that were impacted by this great war. And I mean, you think that's a fair comparison if people start thinking like that? Like, this game then needs to live up to like a Saving Private Ryan, even though that's a movie.
I don't think it doesn't need to be at the quality of film because video games, and with a couple exceptions, they're still nowhere near that bar. But even if it's not perfect, you just need to care about the characters. Like the story doesn't have to be incredible. You can have these flaws in it, but you need to care. And there's lots of video games that make their characters likable and distinct. And the thing for me in a lot of these Call of Duty, I played Infinite Warfare, which I kind of had higher expectations for because a lot of people were actually really praising some of the characters in that, especially the robot. And they were fine, but like in the end, it's still like the main guy just was so generic military gruff dude. And like even just a few months removed now, I still couldn't really tell you what he's about or describe him as a person. Like I just need to have some sort of connection to them. It doesn't have to be an Oscar-winning screenplay. But just give me something so that when someone dies in my arms in that cutscene, because it's going to happen, that I get something down there.
Yeah,
and there's something to that because I mean, you look at people's connection like with Master Chief or even like BJ Blazkowicz and Wolfenstein.
Oh, that's
a great example.
Yeah, I mean, you spent like a game with them, but you cared about what happened to the character. You're right. It's like so many random generic dudes in COD. You're like, I don't even know. The only reason I remember Soap is because his name was Soap. Right.
And doesn't Private Daniels sound a little generic too? Like Daniels. Like that's who you're probably going to be playing as.
Right. And again, outside of the devil's advocate, I'm in complete agreement with Sam. I think personally, I would like to see them just take a little break.
Yeah.
And like really go to the grind and like really come back, and let people miss you. Like Assassin's Creed, I think Assassin's Creed might actually do well because people kind of miss it right now.
Yeah.
Which actually, at the risk of derailing us, at the complete risk of derailing us here, does anyone else find it interesting we still haven't seen anything from Assassin's Creed?
Yes.
Officially?
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to see anything.
But we'll see it.
Ready to drop it.
Exactly. And I think
I'm fine. Don't get me wrong. I think they're taking the right approach.
Yeah, and I hope that's actually intentional because again, it gives some mystery. Because there was a time when we had that, games went away and they didn't come back, for a few years, and you actually legitimately were excited to see it come back.
I think Ubisoft's been learning a lot too lately. They with the Division, they revealed that so far before it came out, and it was infamously, the final release did not look as good as what they unveiled, and they had that problem with a couple games where they had these target renders or these like Watch Dogs, like really beefed up PC version, and then in the end it didn't quite live up to that. And I think they've been getting better at announcing things closer to release and showing more honest gameplay, like Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I think they handled that pretty well. So that could be part of it too. Maybe they just want to show it at E3 and do the Bethesda thing and say it's out this fall if we don't get taken over by Vivendi.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. You mentioned Vivendi because I did. They're trying to buy them by the end of the year, I think, right? Isn't that what they're hoping for?
Yeah, there was I don't know what the source was. There was a Reuters article, so I think like an analyst or something, and they said that it's going to happen this year because I guess with these type of hostile takeovers, when they invest in the company, they don't want to wait forever to kind of close the deal. So it's time's coming up.
That's interesting. It's one thing about multiplayer. I guess they're going to have this Call of Duty is going to have something similar to what Destiny has with the what's it called, the tower.
Oh, like a hub.
Yeah. I think I forget what they call them.
Your
earlier
base or
a base or something. Yeah.
You know why they have that? It's so that you can show off all your sweet microtransaction gear.
Yeah, exactly.
With all those people hanging around near you. Same thing in Destiny.
Yeah, you can share medals and gear and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Also, what's interesting is that there's also a mission that Cassia is a woman fighting for the French Resistance. So I don't remember hearing that in the reveal today, but that's apparently that's one of the missions. Yeah, so they're switching up a little bit, give you a different perspective.
I don't want to write it off completely until we at least get some gameplay, and like when you guys said, it does have potential. But it's maybe the reveal trailer was safe because they needed to kind of get people on board with the World War II thing, and I'm hoping they're holding their cards to their chest for this one.
Yeah. They can't catch a break though, man. Anytime they announce, people are like, hit that dislike button.
Remember it was like Battlefield 1 got the most likes.
Yeah. Infinite Warfare was like they had to take the video down or something.
Got like the most dislikes.
Yeah. I don't know, man. There's a lot to be said about fatigue, man. Eventually people stop caring.
Well, yeah. I mean, how many more Call of Duties can they put out? I'm over it. I mean, unless the story's really, 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 really good in this version, then I'll pick it up. But if not, it's a pass for me. I haven't played Call of Duty in years.
Yeah,
I'm interested.
But again, if people are coming, people usually come to Call of Duty for the multiplayer. I mean, you have people that don't ever touch the campaign. So story is not, for the last few years, hasn't really been what they've been focused on.
Multiplayer, yeah.
They give a serviceable campaign, but like, Jeff was saying, you don't remember any of it. You don't remember anybody from it. Nothing's memorable. You just kind of go through the motions like, I'm going to shoot some stuff and I'm done, So I honestly think, they could win some people over with a really compelling campaign. But people seem to want, like I said, the boots on the ground, multiplayer. They want to get back to, they don't want to wall hop anymore or jetpack all over the place.
Yeah, I was gonna say they don't want to use jetpacks.
They don't want jetpacks, man.
No jetpacks, so even though I think they should still put jetpacks in there, completely out of character for that time period, that would be awesome. But just make it like the Rocketeer.
The who?
Remember that movie, The Rocketeer?
Yeah, the Rocketeer. Yes.
Yeah. The Who.
That was a terrible movie.
Terrible good. Don't step on our childhood, man.
No, that movie was terrible. I remember that.
It's like Dick Tracy bad.
Dick Tracy was it was terrible. I can't believe Al Pacino was in that movie. They must have paid him a lot of money.
Yeah. So
we're clearly dating ourselves because Jeff and Sam are like, what are these guys talking about?
Yeah, that's what we had to live with growing up, though, man. A lot of those movies are trash.
I know what it is. I know what the Rocketeer was. I'm just in disbelief it's come up in this conversation. That's all.
Sam was like, WTF, what is going on? All right, next topic. We're going to talk about 4K resolution. This actually came about because of I guess John in our Brap DM shared a article that came out from our friends over at Windows Central, Mr. Jez Corden. And so basically what it was is they put out an article showing a comparison of just some still shots of, my God, people were calling this game the is it Kylie Jenner? What's Bruce Jenner's You know what I'm talking about? What's his female?
Caitlyn.
Caitlyn. Thank you.
Caitlyn. Oh, wow.
People are calling it the Caitlyn Jenner game. Like, geez, what is wrong with people?
I didn't even think about that until you just said it. I'm like actually looking at the image. I'm like, holy shit. Wow, that's cold.
It went from Sarah.
That's savage, man. That's savage.
It went from Sarah Palin to Caitlyn Jenner.
Internet folks are tough.
Yeah, right. So they were showing. They showed like 3 slides. One Xbox One 1080p. I believe the middle display was HD display, and then the one on the right was 4K native on Scorpio. And it probably wasn't the best representation. I think of native 4K for Scorpio when you're looking at all 3 next to each other. And I think Jez did come out, and I didn't read his tweet, but I think he tweeted out why you might not be able to really notice difference. I mean, obviously, I think when you're looking at this live, it probably looks different, and I think he actually mentioned that. But I think the one thing that stood out to me was the ladybug. I think we all saw the yellow ladybug. That to me really kind of popped more than the images of Caitlyn Jenner. But so it led to this conversation that we had, and I know John said he really couldn't tell the differences. I couldn't either, and it reminded me of an article, or I should say an article of a comparison that Digital Foundry did of For Honor with they had the PlayStation 4 Pro version, which is checkerboard to 4K, and they had it against the PC version 4K. They said at normal viewing distance, when you're looking at both versions, that the checkerboard version of For Honor on PS4 Pro looked like 4K, like it passed. And so I'm wondering, like, with regards to 4K, and I'll throw this out to you first, Jeff, as you're our guest this evening. I mean, is 4K? Is it that big of a deal? I mean, is it? And then I guess as a consumer, when you're looking at both consoles, one having clearly a different approach to 4K or achieving 4K, what potentially may offer the consumer a better value add? I mean, if viewing distance or anything to go by, and what Digital Foundry says is anything to go by with a game like For Honor, what's the value proposition for a consumer then? Does it make sense for them to go to Scorpio? Does it make sense for them to maybe go for Pro, the PS4 Pro, which is going to be cheaper? Or does it just depend on the individual and their needs? What are your thoughts, man?
That's a good one. I've got a little background on this. I've done some AV work for my office with regards to displays, and I got a 4K television. I do a lot of PC gaming. My card can't really run 4K on most, but I've definitely dabbled with it. I've seen what it looks like. I've got it hooked up to my LED TV as well. So the thing with we'll go viewing distance first. And I learned this when I was doing a lot of my AV work. The vast majority of people do not have an optimal display or viewing distance for content. And even 1080p screens, most people in their living room are too far away from the TV to get the full detail from 1080p, let alone 4K. To get the extra benefits of 4K and what that resolution does, you need a big TV. You need to have like a 60-inch or more and be probably 6-7 feet away tops. But a lot of people are running a 40, 50-inch at 10 feet, and it's just not doing anything for them. And that's where you come in with the Digital Foundry article, the For Honor comparison. I've played Watch Dogs 2 on my PS4 at checkerboard, and I've tried running it on my computer, and you honestly can't tell the difference. The thing that's different is if you're sitting at a computer monitor, and I'm looking at this Windows Central article, and I can really see the difference in clarity on these, even the Jenner girl, we'll call her. It's not a huge difference. This seems like a weird demo to use. I don't think it's even on the 4K one, there's some aliasing going on there, but it cleans up a little bit. But like you said, the ladybug, that's extra texture detail, and that's a huge difference. You can immediately see that.
Yep.
So when you talk about value proposition, I think it depends on a person's situation. If you're playing on a TV in your living room, maybe it makes sense to go for something like a Pro, where we don't know price on Scorpio. Maybe it's a little bit cheaper, but in the end, it basically looks the same to you. But if there is a lot of people that play consoles on an actual monitor. Maybe they don't have it hooked up to a TV. They got a little gaming office and they just play at a desk. And if you're that close to the screen, you're going to really notice the differences. And that's when you might be seeing, you might be seeing an advantage with going with native 4K. But I think the wild card with Scorpio is we just don't know exactly how big the performance benefits in terms of frames per second and the extra texture. Are we going to see, extra lighting fidelity, higher graphical settings when it comes to things like, HDR or the God rays or particle effects? That we're just going to have to kind of wait till it's out and see what developers are implementing. So it's really going to depend on the person, I think. I don't think there's a catch-all answer.
Sorry, go ahead, Sam.
I was just going to say, when you're done, can I build on that, sort of?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, just wanted to make sure I wasn't interrupting you. But yeah, I think on top of that, the thing with textures you have to keep in mind is this is where the major difference between checkerboarding and the native resolution is that texture quality is absolutely dependent on native resolution. Something a lot of people don't actually know is the textures in Fallout 4 are actually a much higher resolution than the regular game. It's 2K textures, 2048 by 2048. That's in the basic PS4, Xbox One versions. But you'll never see the quality because it's not operating at a high enough resolution. If you could force the resolution to go higher, you would get that extra texture quality. So I think 4K definitely is a big deal as long as they're backing up with textures. And if the Digital Foundry interview is any indication, they consider the 4K textures to be an absolute minimum in terms of developer support.
Yeah, and you can see that on the image of the girl if you guys are looking at the article. When you slide over, if you look at her left arm in the sleeve, in the 4K one, you can see some threading patterns there and a little bit of detail on the fabric that isn't in the 1080p one, and that's where that comes in for sure.
Textures.
Yeah, no, I mean you definitely can. I mean, I'm looking at this again now. It's hard to tell. I initially looked at it on my phone. It is like if you look at it on your phone, it's not.
I look at it on my Apple Watch.
You're fancy.
Tighter pixels, man. Joking. I'm joking. Yeah, I don't have an Apple Watch. It's joking.
Yeah. B Money and Eric, do you guys have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, kind of. Look, you like this, the Kylie Jenner chick, or the I'm sorry, the Caitlyn Jenner chick. I just thought it was odd to kind of lead with that example to kind of really show what it's supposed to be capable of. As far as it didn't look that discernible, to me. The Ladybug, yeah, you automatically see like the difference, and what's going on like texture wise and stuff like that. But no.
Yeah, you can see the hairs on the ladybug's legs, and you can't see that on the other side.
Yeah, like I can see, I see a little bit of change in the lady image, but again, maybe it's just the fact it's just not a flattering image in general.
Yeah, that might be it. Yeah. I mean, Caitlyn Jenner's probably not a flattering person to stare at in 4K.
Well, I'm sure somebody wants to stare at Caitlyn Jenner in 4K, but yeah. But no. Yeah, that's about all I have to add to it. Like Jeff said, I can definitely, you still see like some anti-aliasing going on there. And it just, as an example, again, for what we are expecting or kind of know about the Scorpio being like the most powerful console and what it can do, this and that, I just honestly don't think that one image is the best representation. So I did find it odd that they led with that.
Well, probably because it's not Microsoft officially. This is Windows Central leaking stuff. People do need to keep that in mind here.
Yeah, I think the challenge again is if
they still showed it, but they still showed it to people, leak or not.
Yeah, the article says Microsoft used these images to continue the comparison. So,
yeah,
it's just not. I would think you'd find like a beast image to be showing people.
Something lifelike. Yeah. Well, I thought the Ladybug one was
Sean Ashmore.
You already showed us a Forza screenshot.
What did you say, Sean Ashmore?
Yeah, they could use Sean Ashmore from Quantum Break. Like, why not use that?
Yeah,
you're gonna use anything.
Yeah, well, like Jeff said, we did see Forza.
Yeah, so but that's a car. You know what I mean? Like, how many textures are you gonna see in a car?
Exactly. You know, and I know people get kind of heated when you bring that up and you say it's Forza. Like, what do you? But it's Forza.
Yeah.
You know, it's like exactly like what B just said. So,
yeah.
And the Ladybug is cool, but you know, I kind of look at the Ladybug as being the rubber duckies in the PlayStation demo.
The
You know?
duckies.
The PS3 one, the Super Rubber Duck. Super
It's
Rubber
like
Duck.
it's an image, something to show you. You go, okay, cool. You know? So again, it's not a knock. It's just, you know, we're looking for any scrap of information we can get, you know, and this was kind of see, kind of go, okay.
Yeah.
On to the next.
I think the challenge, like Sony faced when they debuted the PlayStation 4 Pro, is how do you show this thing in a way that people will get it, like if they're watching a live stream or they're looking at stills. You know, I think that's the challenge.
Downsampled imagery that'll come across the stream.
You tell everybody to go to Sam's Club or Costco during the E3 event.
Yeah, but
live stream it.
Right.
TVs only.
Yeah, but watching it like on YouTube or Twitch, I mean, you're not going to really get that oomph, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because I remember when the PlayStation 4 Pro debuted. I mean, you know, like I was kind of like watching. I was like, oh, okay, and I remember seeing tweets from journalists that were there and like, oh, it looks great. Yeah, I forget what game they were showing. You know, but a lot of people were like that were there were saying how great it looked. So,
well, something to keep in mind as well. I don't think a lot of people know this. They're not going with Twitch this year. They're streaming it on Beam.
That makes sense, though.
Yeah, it makes sense that they do it on Beam.
Yeah, all right, sorry guys, I got to drop.
Yeah, no worries, Jeff.
Thanks for having me on. It was fun.
No, absolutely, man.
Thanks for being on, bro.
Anytime, man. We enjoyed having you on, and good luck to the Oilers tonight, man. I'm rooting for them.
I hope so. When do the Caps play?
Tomorrow night.
All right, I'm rooting for them too. Take care, guys.
Thank you, man. All right,
bro.
See you, man.
Take care, dude.
Nice to meet y'all.
You too. Yeah, that makes sense that they would use Beam. I mean, hey, you footed the bill for that. Like, we're gonna use it, and it's I mean, with the latency or the lag, you know, the lag thereof is probably the best place to go with it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that.
Plus, Twitch is being weird lately, man.
I don't mess with Twitch. But yeah, it's so I'm even more curious now for E3. I can't wait for E3 now to really kind of see what kind of games they're going to show on the Scorpio and how this thing looks in person. You know, I think for me, ultimately, that's like until I see it in person, I think I've kind of gone back and forth like day one. I think for me, I need to see it in person before I make a purchase decision.
Would you guys say E3 is like at a fever pitch at this point? Not for me, because look. Like I said, I may not be the best. I may not be the best to gauge this on because I'm not emotionally tied to it. Like, it's going to be what it's going to be. If it's what I want and if they're showing me what I want, I'm going to get it. I'm not one of these people that's emotionally tied to the whole thing. So I'm not knocking it. I'm also not overhyping it.
Yeah, I'm just more interested with regards to E3 more than anything else. At the end of the day, I'm just more interested in seeing what games they're shown. You know, like I mean,
yeah, because I said before, it's not my job to defend Microsoft. It's Microsoft's job to impress me. I'm a consumer.
That's right. Consumer at the end of the day, man.
Right. Because look, I was an iPhone user for a long time. I didn't think I was getting what I need out of it. I switched to Android. Loved that for a while. And then for wife reasons, because she told me what to do, we went back to iPhone.
She told you buy that iPhone, Eric, you're gonna like it.
Yeah. No, plus, I was having some issues with my Android device, and I was just like, you know what? Let's just make it all easy. But the fact of the matter is, there are people out there. I mean, I've seen, chat rooms between Apple and Android fans doing the same shit, that Xbox and PlayStation fans do, like back and forth, like who's the best. And it's like, you're consumers, man. It's like you have a passion for what you like, but at the end of the day, it's sort of just like, again, and I know it's not popular, but I kind of agree with what Jason Schreier was saying. It's like he didn't understand the whole championing of companies. Like if you work there and you have a vested interest in it being the best, that's one thing. If someone is so with your hard work, because these guys do work hard.
Yeah,
they put their lives out there and they put something out there to be judged constantly. They're the ones that have the investment. They put their blood, sweat, and tears into it. But this whole fanboy thing back and forth in defense of it, I'm like, Microsoft is a company. Their only relationship with me is give me the product I want, I give you the money I want. Same with Sony, same with any other product I buy. You don't do that anymore, we have a breach of contract.
Yeah. The breach of contract. Now, dude, that's part of being a consumer, exercising your rights as a consumer, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'll defend gaming all day long. You know what I'm saying? Like if someone's going at somebody else or something, I'll jump in and defend it. But this whole, you can't say this about Pro because it triggers somebody. You can't say this about Scorpio because it triggers somebody, or there's a defense for it. It's just, I don't know.
Well, I think as a consumer, when we don't know the price of the Scorpio. I think most people probably $499 seems to be what's floating out there, but $500 is a pretty, it's not chump change, No,
but again, if it's supposed to be the beast, and like, Anchor said this before, like, undersell, over deliver, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a very good way to be about it. And we've talked about this, a lot of times, all over, plenty of times where people, it's like those with this over realistic expectation of it are going to be pissed no matter what happens.
Mm-hmm.
If you come into it with a realistic expectation, or just kind of let it be what it is, let it be, and look at it, for what they deliver. And hopefully, again, for me, it's about games. It's about experiences that I want, they deliver that to me, I'm good. And if they deliver with Scorpio where, it looks better or whatever, I'm good. If it doesn't, which I don't think that's going to be the case, it's not, sorry, I'm off my soapbox. I'm just saying.
No, that's all good, man. I just, I would just caution people, anytime you make an investment like this, where you're going to have to buy a 4K TV and a console, to really kind of do your homework, and don't buy something because you feel loyalty or you feel you have to.
Right.
Buy because it makes sense to you. Buy because you see value in it, and you see that you're going to get, you're gonna get a return on your investment, because that's potentially if this thing comes in at $500 and you don't have a 4K TV, you got to remember, not all 4K TVs are built the same.
Right.
I don't know, for me, I'm not going to go out and spend $500 on a 4K TV. Nope. It's not going to happen. I'm going to probably buy something that $1,500 range.
That Black Friday, man.
Yeah, because I my TVs, I don't just game on my TVs. I watch movies and other content. So
gotta watch sports, man.
Yeah. I've never with TVs, I've always gone like mid tier. I've never gone anything like really high, like with my Panasonic, my Plasma. I could have gone with the GT50. I went with the ST50, right? Mm-hmm. My Samsung, I didn't go with the high end. I went with the mid tier. But knowing me, like that's potentially like $2,000 for me out of pocket for for you to
feel comfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you feel comfortable with your purchase.
Yeah. So for me, I look at it like I need to know all the facts, and I got to see how this thing's going to perform.
Right. And that is true too. Like I don't have a 4K TV, so it's not like where I'm just going to go grab this thing, with a 1080p TV, because let's keep it real. The whole advent of this thing is HDR, 4K, and the same thing with the Pro. I don't have a Pro yet either. I could go get a Pro, and I'm sure they'll be, whatever. And I know that everyone will say, well, it's got the super sampling. That's the defense of it. You have a 1080p TV, you're covered. No. Phil said himself months ago that, if you get a Scorpio, you have a 4K TV, you're not going to see all the benefits from it. It's kind of pointless for you. It's sort of like what he was saying, right? They've sort of pulled back on that. They changed it. And I know there's a super sampling, but if you're a tech person and you're one of the first people that are going to jump out there for this, you're going to want a 4K TV.
Yeah.
That's just how I'm kind of looking at it. Everybody's situation is different, but if you're truly a tech person, you're going to want both.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's how I am.
No, I hear you, man. Makes sense. It makes sense. Anybody, you have 4K? Did you upgrade last year?
Yeah, I got the TV last year. Still just waiting on the system, man. Trying to decide on a Pro or the Scorpio. I probably will still get the Pro like sometime in July or August. and then probably get the Scorpio once it releases. But like you guys just said, it comes down to the games. You know what I mean? They really got to show me something when it comes to games department. Last year for me was a bit of a letdown. So for me, they really got to bring it this year. And as long as they got the games, I'm there. I bought every other Xbox console day one. I still have my original 360 day one box, green box.
Nice.
I still got my Xbox One black box. Day one. So, I've been there day one every time. But, and I'll probably still be there this time. Forza. I'm a big motorsport fan, GT fan. So, when they show off those showcase, games, I'm always there for those. But they got to step it up for me in the games department a little bit and show me something different. Gears was great. I'm not the biggest Halo fan. Scalebound cancellation was a little bit of a disappointment. So, and Sea of Thieves is not something I'm really into. I wanted something different from Rare. Crackdown, got high hopes for that. Not really into zombie things so State of Decay is not really on my radar.
You play the first State of Decay? Did you like that?
I played it for like 15, 20 minutes. I was like, nah, this isn't for me. So
I did too,
they got to show me something else to get me super excited. And there's rumors that they have something coming up, but they got to show it off.
I'm feeling like the same way too. And has that whole Halo 3 anniversary thing been like debunked?
Pretty much.
Good, because I see people on Twitter like, "Oh my God, Halo 3!" It's like, stop! You got Halo, you got Master Chief Collection. Let's cut the bullshit.
I don't want.
Contrary to popular belief, the Master Chief Collection actually does work at this point. Like you can find a match fine. We don't need a Halo 3 anniversary.
And even for like spending the resource on having blurred your cutscene. Come on, man! It's like you got BC, you got Master Chief Collection. Let's move forward. You can't move forward if people keep going. There's no time to cover your nostalgia all day long. They gave you BC. You got 100 different ways to play Halo and Gears. Let's keep it, like you said, some new experiences. Let's move forward.
Yeah. I heard that rumor too. I was like shaking my head. I was like, no, this better not be like a big announcement. It's just that wouldn't. Yeah.
You might hear me lose it if that's like a big chunk of E3. They came out and said it like.
It's not happening.
No, I know it's not, but I would have lost it.
Yeah. Sam, are you picking up Scorpio at launch?
Yeah. They were for sure.
Do you have a 4K TV now?
I will by that point.
Yeah.
I imagine a lot of people will, because we don't know the exact month it's going to release, but I mean, they did say like around holiday. So you got a pretty good window in there because you can hit those Black Friday deals, like sales and stuff.
Yeah.
You can get some good deals.
A lot of the nicer TVs, like especially in the Samsung line, have come down to the point where like you can get a really nice one even under $1,000.
Yeah, I saw one at regular price. Yeah, it was like $999 or $998 or something like that at Best Buy. So I imagine like the KS, what is it, 8,000?
KS 8,000.
Yeah,
it'll be a pretty nice price. And that's a really good TV. So that'd be a really nice price around Black Friday.
Mike or Inferno from Four Guys Recorders was telling me that he's got a Sony, I think 55-inch 4K. So they're better than the KS for the Samsung. He said the input lag's much better on the Sony.
The Sony tend to have deeper blacks too. Like so if you're into that type of thing, like Sony typically has a better picture, but they cost a little bit more. They're typically $200 to $300 more. So you get a better value with the Samsung. But either one is probably good to go with.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Yeah, you'll be fine.
My plan, like I said, my plan is to have both. I plan on having a Pro and a Scorpio. So that's why I said it doesn't. Ultimately, the games that I own already on Xbox. I mean, my backlog is so crazy. I could get a Scorpio and keep rocking. Especially if bump up all my library. That's cool too. So yeah. I mean, like I said, for me personally, either way, whatever they show, whatever they got going on is good. But like I'm with B. I really want to be wowed. Like I haven't been wowed by them like in a while. and I want to be wild. So I'm hoping that it's going to be the case.
It's coming, Eric. They're going to drop some thangabangers on you, man.
Chicken keeps saying that, man. And if I don't get
wait, baby.
If I don't get a thangabanga, Chicken's gonna hear from me, man.
Chicken actually asked me on Twitter the other day. We were talking about Voodoo Vince. He's like, "Was it a?" No, it wasn't. No, we're talking about Rise. I'm sorry, talking about Rise. He's like, "Was it?" He goes, "Was it an Xbox One launch thangabanga?" I was like, "Nah, not really. It was all right, but I wouldn't say it was a thangabanga."
I swear, man, I'm gonna open up a sandwich shop. Call it Thangabangas.
There you go.
There you go, man. There you go.
Yeah,
you better copyright it before someone else opens it, man.
No, I'm gonna have to break Chicken off with a check.
Yeah. Yeah, he came up with the idea. You're gonna have to compensate him.
Chicken, man, we gotta go out in front of E3 and sell Thangabangas, man.
Yeah. Hey guys, speaking of I think B-Buddy, you brought up what is it? Not State of Decay 2, but Crackdown 3. I'm assuming we get a release date at E3. What do you guys? You think they launch it and that it releases in
Guaranteed. Fall? I can guarantee you that there'll be a release date at E3. It's going to be a huge blowout.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I just wonder Windows.
They can't push it back any further.
But should it launch? Let me ask you: should it launch in fall? I mean, because you think about what we have coming this fall. We have, Destiny 2 is going to be a pretty big deal. Red Dead. I hear Red Dead might not even launch this fall.
Red Dead 2 is not making this year.
Yeah,
I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
And Destiny is in September, and then Call of Duty is November 3rd. So, see, the thing is, as long as you launch
Star Wars Battlefront, yeah,
and then you got Battlefront. So,
well,
it could definitely work.
We know Forza is going to release in September, so
right.
They have October, November release Crackdown.
October seems like the best. Nothing is really confirmed to release in October right now.
Yeah.
So I can totally see October in prep for Scorpio a couple of weeks later. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in August they got Shadow of War. They can really push that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And September they can really push Forza.
Mm-hmm.
And then October, that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Crackdown, blowout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what's insane is that Sony's got marketing rights for Destiny 2, Call of Duty, and Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
I mean, and so we could probably expect them to push mad bundles for those games during the holiday season.
Who do you think will have
customized consoles again?
Who do you think will have Assassin's Creed?
I pray to God it's Microsoft simply because I want to see something actually from Sony at Sony's stage. It's getting kind of ridiculous at this point.
You mean like something from like Sony first party?
Yeah, and simply because it's like with all the marketing deals they have, they are going to be eating. That's going to be eating into their stage time. That's going to take a huge chunk.
Yeah, it might. Yeah. Last year it didn't know too much. I mean, what did they have last year? I mean, last year was pretty much their E3 last year was just like
banger.
Yeah, I mean, that was ridiculous. I've never seen this.
That's because they didn't really market Call of Duty last year.
Yeah, but they had some well, they had a separate event. I thought didn't Activision like have a separate event too? And at E3 last year.
Yeah, they usually play it like the day before. Activision shows it off.
Yeah,
before Sony does. So they might do the same thing again this year. I don't know. It depends on the buzz for Call of Duty. If the buzz is high, then maybe Sony, puts it in the show. But if not, then why would you?
They're definitely going to show Destiny too. I mean, that's
they're going to show Destiny. I think they'll show a lot of Star Wars. EA will show Star Wars heavily. You could probably see some sort of bundle for Battlefront. And when is they'll push the Lost Legacy DLC thing?
Yeah,
right. When's that coming out again?
August 22nd.
August.
So there'll probably be a stage demo for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
Sony will have some Thangabangas.
As far as Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed, didn't Sony have Syndicate, so it might be Microsoft's turn to have it.
Yeah.
I thought Microsoft had Syndicate.
No, Microsoft had Unity. Sony
Yeah,
had Syndicate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's probably Microsoft's going to
Big
have
Microsoft.
Assassin's Creed this time because it usually goes back and forth. So
Yeah, they alternate. Yeah.
They have like a nice bundle for Assassin's. They had a nice bundle last time for Assassin's Creed. Microsoft did.
yeah, when they had the Black Flag, they pushed that real heavy.
Black Flag, my favorite Assassin's Creed game.
But you didn't play Syndicate.
No, I didn't. Yeah, but Black Flag was my favorite game, Assassin's Creed game. Yeah, I'll have to try Syndicate. I know you keep talking about it, Eric. You say it's great. I heard Unity's not bad now that they fixed the problems.
Man, Unity's poop.
Yeah, I got Unity for like $2 or $3 on like CD keys, and the game hunter in me at the time was like $3. I'll buy it. I still have not played it. You know.
Yeah.
But Syndicate is really good. Black Flag was fine. I'm probably one of the odd men out because the whole ship battle thing. Like when I did that in Assassin's Creed 3, I was kind of over it.
Yeah.
So I like the whole pirate aspect of it, but yeah, the ship battle stuff to me I was like, eh.
Oh, dude, that was the best part.
Nah.
You got to upgrade your ship. You gotta upgrade your ship and your cannons.
That's work.
Yeah, actually,
sometimes you just want to sit back and enjoy the game, man. When work too hard.
Buy
It throws you out of the groove, man.
Well, dude, that's why you got to pick up, you got to pick up like a small indie game, to kind of supplement it. When you're feeling a little burned out, you just pick up a game and you can just plug and play.
Mm-hmm. But I actually thought when they announced that they were doing Black Flag, I was like, it's not surprising. I mean, they already have the assets built with the ships and everything from Assassin's Creed 3.
Mm-hmm.
So that wasn't surprising. And then it wasn't surprising that they did Syndicate in like London when they already had all the assets built for Paris. They just kind of. So when they say, well, we can't really do feudal Japan because X, Y, Z, I'm like, you just don't want to build the assets for it. We get it. Especially when they were going year to year,
Mm-hmm.
How many people kept like feudal? Ubisoft always had like the funny excuses, like, well, how come there's no female protagonist? Oh, well, you see, when we do models, it's just a little difficult. Shut up, you're Ubisoft. You can't do a female model, and then they answered it with, with Evie Fry,
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, we can't do feudal Japan. It's just too, we get it. Year to year, you want to use the assets that you have. We understand.
Yeah, man.
Colonial ship battles, pirates. Makes sense.
So B Money, you mentioned Empire, like you're in day one. What do we know about it? Because I haven't really been following anything related to Assassin's Creed.
Well, they haven't really talked much about it, and that's the thing that has me most intrigued about it. You know what I mean? Like Assassin's Creed has always been like, one of the better franchises out of there. That kind of just came out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like right when BioShock came out, Assassin's Creed was like another one that came out of nowhere, and it was a solid project. And they kind of went left a little bit, and Unity was like way left and horrible. Mm-hmm. But Syndicate bounced back, and they decided that people weren't buying Syndicate because of Unity. They wanted to take a time off to kind of fix up some legacy issues like the wall running and that different animations and things like that. So. And you guys know, like Ubisoft has always been one of my favorite developers. I think they're one of the biggest publishers that takes the most risk. You know what I mean?
They do.
We've talked about so many of their games. For Honor, Watch Dogs. Ghost Recon. Like they take big risks. You know what I mean with some of these big IPs in it, and it's been very profitable for them. So, I'm looking forward to what the next Assassin's Creed brings, because I think. With them taking the time off, they've really got a chance to dig in, and it might be something special, man.
Yeah, because
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, bro.
The only thing I know is Shinobi, and so I trust him obviously, says that the design team was looking very, very strongly at The Witcher 3 when they were designing the gameplay and overhauling the travel and the development of the engine and stuff like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you know what? Also, I remember when I was playing Shadow of Mordor, I was like, imagine.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Jimmy just hit this
I figured something happened with the game. I was like, what?
Wait, I remember Big Money watching the World Series. You remember that?
Yeah, I get a little insane with my sports team. So
hey, I do the same. I do the same thing, bro. All good. But I remember like the combat in Shadow of Mordor. I was kind of like saying like if Assassin's Creed kind of adopted some of this more fluid movement, take a break, revamp things, come back, make it a little more fluid. Because like how many times are you like following like a character or whatever, an NPC, and then you end up sticking to the wall,
or you're like stumbling all over yourself. Like,
yeah,
what's going on, man?
Yeah, I jumped in the haystack when I didn't, the trigger was like,
jump in the haystack. That was the worst when you like were running away and then you, from like you were detected, you'd be running and then there'd be a haystack and you just automatically just jump into it. That was the worst.
Right.
It's like it was purposely trolling you.
So yes, I'm hoping that they come back strong and fix, because Assassin's Creed has been one of my favorite franchises.
I'll tell you what, if they're looking at The Witcher 3, that is whoo.
Assassin's Creed is going to be big this year. I'm with B. I think it's going to be huge.
Yeah. Well, I think it's good. They gave they took some time. They took some time off, to kind of go back to the drawing board.
Yeah. And not saying much about it. It has people intrigued and actually interested again.
It's true.
And if they come to E3 and they do, a Bethesda, that can only like benefit it,
Fangabangas. I want to see. Honestly, the one game I really want to see from Ubisoft is Splinter Cell.
Yeah, all I will need to see those 3 green lights, and I will.
That's it.
Insane.
And that sound, the little sound, the on sound, the ching, whatever it goes.
That's all they need. So you think we might see that?
I hope so. Fingers crossed.
That time, right? Yeah, because that's a franchise that benefits from the fact that it's not a huge seller. So I think for Ubisoft, they kind of just give it the time it needs, and they let it stay away for a while, and then when they bring it back, again, it feels like a holdover from last generation, like mid-last generation, when games did that.
Yeah.
So when it shows up again, it's usually really damn good.
Yeah.
Like there's not a lot you can like argue about, like Conviction to Blacklist.
Blacklist was I'm probably one of the few that actually like Conviction.
Conviction was good.
No, Conviction was good. Hiding in the shadows and stuff.
Well, people are stupid.
Yeah, people are idiots.
I don't think that game reviewed well either. Compared to the other Splinter Cells.
No,
it's definitely different.
Yeah.
So it probably didn't review well, but that game was fun, man.
I had a good time. I enjoyed it. I didn't see the issue with it. It was Splinter Cell. But I'd like to see them. I'd actually like to see them bring Michael Ironside back to voice Sam Fisher.
No, Enrique, IGN gave it a 9.3, and we all know IGN knows.
So because we mentioned Bethesda, Anchorman in the live chat said, I was summoned. Someone mentioned
Anchor's like Highlander when it comes to Bethesda, man. Just feels
if someone else tries talking about Bethesda without him around, there can be only one.
Yeah, Anchor, pray, man. Let's go.
Hey, Fastback also says rumor new Splinter Cell might be shown at E3 Xbox. Ooh, that'd be a fanga-banga.
Yeah.
That'd be a perfect game to show off on Scorpio, man.
Yes. Yes. The lighting.
Yes, sir.
Textures, rain, the weather.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, my God. You know what? Did you see that? Oh, my gosh. Yeah. They show that on the Scorpio. You're right, B. That's a perfect game for that.
Yep.
Can you imagine that? Oh.
Anybody gonna play the Prey demo?
I don't.
Nope.
I'm not playing it.
I can't touch it, man. I gotta wait till it releases. I ain't gonna cheat.
I'm not playing Prey. I'm not playing
the arcade. We know it'll be good.
Yes, yep. I'm with you guys. I need no convincing.
I'm not buying any more new games.
Shut up. You'll be at that spot.
Hey, you know what though? All joking aside, I've been good. I mean, I've only since Persona 5. I've only purchased one game.
All right, man. Look at you, man.
Yeah, no, like Persona 5 is like $100.
No, wait, no. You get Mario Kart 8 on Friday.
Yeah, I was about to say, you didn't get Mario Kart?
Yeah, that's what I'm on. Yeah, my 7-year-old's already asking me. He's like, "Oh, he thought it came out yesterday." Because he knows games typically released on Tuesdays, so he's like, "Where's Mario Kart?" I'm like, "Nah, dude, it doesn't come out yet."
Yeah, I went to Target the other day, man. They got, they have those little red balls in front of the store.
Yeah, they have them. Yeah.
Yeah, they have Mario and Luigi on the red balls, like painted on the red balls.
They're going all out for like Mario Kart.
Mario's at McDonald's right now. They have
shopping carts. They have the shopping carts dressed out like go-karts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And stuff. Yeah. So yeah, that should be hype.
No,
I'm looking forward to people that didn't get to play it on the Wii U, man. You're gonna have a good time with that joint.
Oh,
Mario Kart 8 was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Real quick, guys. All Star Gamer says I played the original Splinter Cell, never got into the others. Dude, Pandora Tomorrow? Come on.
Pandora Tomorrow was.
Oh my god,
that was life, man.
That's bad.
I played that on every console I could.
Oh my god, do you remember? That was the first. That was the first Splinter Cell where they incorporated multiplayer, right?
Yeah, when they had this, was it Specs and Mercs or whatever?
The Spies versus the Mercs.
Yeah.
Oh my! You remember how fun that was on Xbox Live?
Yep.
Fastback said he loves Splinter Cell, my man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
All-Star, come on, man.
Get it together, All-Star. Get it together.
Get it together, yeah. Oh man, I keep thinking about Splinter Cell and just they show those three. They could only just show the lights, the green lights.
Well, look, man, I think there's something that there is something that comes because I know Major Nelson tweeted out like an image of they have the Splinter Cell thing on the wall at the office.
Yeah, I
mean, you could read tea leaves, but I like the whole conspiracy theory thing. So
our insider Sam has just DM'd me and confirmed that Splinter Cell will be at E3 of Microsoft Xbox.
Do not listen to this fool as much as I would like to confirm it.
Sam, I understand you don't need to backtrack. It's okay. Sam is our resident insider.
Keep it up. Just keep it up.
He actually gives Shinobi his inside information.
I'm telling you, man, that would set the arena on fire right there.
Oh yeah.
No, I would. Let me ask you guys something real quick. Are you guys excited? Because we briefly just talked about Battlefront 2. Are you guys excited about that?
I am.
About what?
I am.
Battlefront 2, Star Wars?
I am. I won't say excited. I'm intrigued, but if that campaign comes along and is what I think it could be, then I'll be super excited.
I think they've learned from their mistakes. It's a campaign, and not just any campaign, but from the perspective of the dark side,
which is very intriguing. Yeah,
to follow the reformation of the Empire into the First Order, and all the eras and stuff like that, bigger maps. Yeah,
right.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Did you guys see some of the concept art?
Yep.
No, I haven't seen it.
No, I haven't either.
There was some pretty cool concept art of like the cloning facilities on Camino, clone squadrons, and then Jango Fett and Obi-Wan dueling, like in their spacecraft throughout the city.
Anchor wants the world to know about the tick bit. I know about it for the tick Scorpio bit.
Oh, yes. Is that what Anchor said? That it's going to cost? It's going to be $3.99.
Yes.
Yep.
So the bet is Anchor believes that the Scorpio will be $3.99.
Nope.
Cal thinks the Scorpio will be $4.99, which I'm
gonna go with Cal.
I agree.
So if it is $3.99, then Cal will no longer be the last son handed out spot. But if the console is $4.99, then Anchor cannot buy the new Bethesda game 30 days from the release, and he cannot play Fallout 4.
Wow!
So
there's some high stakes in there.
Anchor might.
Somebody's gonna be offline a lot.
Anchor, you may want to reconsider, man. I don't know.
Anchor, man.
I would have taken that bet if I was him.
I told Anchor. I don't think I got a chance to tell you.
I gotta throw in.
I don't think I got a chance to tell you. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, dude.
That if it is $3.99, then Cal also has to play Alien Isolation, and he is severely afraid of any spooky games and he has to stream it. So that is also a stipulation of the bet.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
That's a long one too, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited about Battlefront 2, though. Yeah, just to play as Darth Maul. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Yep,
dual lightsaber. Thank you. I'll take that.
It looks good.
Yeah,
looks really good.
I just hope I don't get my. Darth Maul was. I don't want to get too deep into Star Wars movies, but I was a little disappointed with his death. You
gotta watch Clone Wars and Rebels, man.
He's a badass in Rebels, isn't he?
Watch Clone Wars and Rebels.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I'll say. Sam, you watch it, right, Sam?
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
We have to talk about that because that was a very fitting end.
I think Clone Wars and Rebels. I continue to be shocked by the amount of people who haven't watched them.
I haven't watched
Clone Wars. I think it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I need to watch it. I really
talk
do.
about like good storytelling, man. Just really, really good storytelling.
I need to watch it.
Yeah.
Real quick, guys, before we wrap up, what do you guys think of the all the talk of with the new Star Wars movie, great Jedis?
Look, I know people were like, I have friends who are just like, no, there's no in between. There's light and there's dark, and I'm like,
it's been explored though in the expanded.
It's been explored. I'm like, I'm all for anything that tries to do something different and push things forward. Because a lot of people complain that Force Awakens was too much like A New Hope, right? Mm-hmm. So it's sort of like if they're going to introduce the idea of the gray, how awesome could that be? Where you have, you can't really call him a Jedi, but it's someone who has a mastery of both the light and the dark and understands how both work. And that's an intriguing thing for the fact that the Jedi were very flawed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People don't think that, but they were very flawed. They let all kinds of
issues.
Arrogance, and they let things infiltrate them and everything else. So that comment Luke had at the end of that trailer is very intriguing.
Yes.
You're right. Strip Club Yoda.
What did you say?
Strip Club
Yoda?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Dollars you take, yes.
So I think that could be a really dope concept, and they've toyed with it like in Rebels, and it could be a really cool concept.
I think it's a perfect if they do it. I think it's a perfect transition from Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
I think. I think Luke's comments were probably dead on. I think they pretty much just left the cat out of the bag. Because, like you said, Eric, this is something that was explored. They were great Jedis in the expanded universe,
Right.
Where, if you think about it, like they talk about balance of the Force. Well, if it's only Jedi, you don't have Force balance. And if it's only Sith, you don't have Force balance or balance of the Force either.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's interesting. And then there's also rumors of Anakin Skywalker maybe having an appearance in the movie, but I don't know. We'll see. I think that's probably more rumor than anything else.
Mm. And what Fastback is saying, like I'm inclined to agree with that. And I don't think Rey will be on that side. I think Luke might be somewhere in between that.
I could see Luke doing that. I could see Luke like being more gray, and then maybe Rey being more, on the light side, traditional Jedi, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Right. And also, I kind of think that comment, I was like, okay, is that going to be something meaningful? Or is that one of those things that kind of like, pinch your nipple?
I want to find out who Snoke is. That's what I want to know who he is.
Yeah.
Is he the Emperor? Like reborn?
It sounds like a multiverse podcast conversation.
Yes. Yes.
Shout out Anchor.
Yeah, big shout out to Anchor. All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap up the podcast, gentlemen. Big shout out to everyone in the live chat again. Anchorman, Fastback, All-Star Gamer. Sam did ban someone. Thank you, Sam. I don't know who that guy was.
Yeah, what was the final blow? I missed it.
Yeah, I missed it too.
I'm not going to repeat it.
Oh,
there was some racist commentary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. mixed in with his, of course, tied into his console preferences. Something, yeah.
Right.
Boy, I couldn't understand half the shit he was saying because he couldn't spell.
Yeah, well, that's probably why he got good.
Yeah.
We're more offended by the illiteracy.
Yes. Innate was in live chat. I think I think he's a first timer, I believe. So welcome to Brat. Thank you for stopping by. Who else was it? Who else did I miss? Did I mention Chicken Spaghetti, Mr. Thangabang himself.
Which I have to give a shout out to him. The Witcher 3 is a thangabanga.
It is.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely. God, that game is so good. It's still probably one of the best games I've played this console gen, easily. So, but yeah, thank you everyone in the live chat again, except for that guy who Sam banned. Yeah, we just don't tolerate that kind of stuff here. So, thank you, Sam, for dropping the ban hammer on him. Appreciate it. I also want to give a big shout out to some of the other podcasts that we follow and watch. These are podcasts where we've had co-hosts, come in, join us, or as guests, or we've been on their shows too. So obviously, B Money, big shout out to Tick.
Yeah,
Inner Circle. So if you guys are looking for a podcast to watch and you haven't heard of them or watched them yet, definitely check out the Inner Circle podcast. B Money, what'd you plug Inner Circle real quick? What do you guys go live again? Thursday nights?
Thursday nights, every other Thursday night, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just come by YouTube /TIC_podcast. We always have a good time. So come check us out.
All right. And then also a big shout out to the RGM podcast. Sam, Eric, you guys are a part of that as well. You guys do every other Saturday, I think, right?
Yes.
Every other Saturday. Yep.
Yeah. So you
want to get the next fortnight.
Yeah, you guys.
It always throws me off.
You're like, huh? Sam, Eric, you guys want to give a quick plug? Anything coming up?
Yeah,
we're just sort of in E3 crunch mode right now.
E3.
We're on fire. We have a lot of stuff going, a lot of irons in the fire. So we're just trying to manage all that at the same time right now. But keep a weather eye on the horizon. There's good stuff coming.
Yeah. All right. Awesome, man. Awesome. Definitely look forward to that. Also want to give a shout out to the Super Deformed Gamescast. Jeff, who was our special guest this evening, is a co-host on SDGC. They're our sister podcast. They go live every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. John, Mr. Negative, who's also co-host on this show, is a founder, co-host, or host on SDGC. So definitely check out those guys as well. Check out TXR, the Xbox Roundtable podcast. We've had Rand on. We've had Southbound. We've had Mike Inferno on. I think that's it from the TXR crew. And then definitely check out Four Guys Recorders. We had Italian Clowns on last week. He's a co-host there, and then also Mike, aka Inferno. Also check out if you haven't, check out the guys from the Weapon Wheel podcast. They go live, I think, every Sunday now. I don't remember what time, but definitely check them out. We had BG Broken Games on. I think it was that 2 weeks ago, Eric?
Oh yeah, something like that. Yep.
Yeah, and then we've had Jack Blue Johnny, who's got the best YouTube introduction. We've had him on too, and actually, you know what? I believe he's going to be joining us next week as a special guest. Yeah, so he's playing Outlast too, and he was telling me he really doesn't like it so much. He says it's not scary, which I thought was interesting because that shit looks scary to me. Trying to think of all the other podcasts. Did I miss any?
That's Short Pause.
Short Pause. Kofi's podcast was it Press Start?
Press Start.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Next Level Gaming. Mike Mullis.
Shout out to Mike, Uncle Mike.
Check them out, and I think that's it. If I missed anyone else, I apologize, but definitely check out those podcasts. if you're looking for some additional content. So, other than that, gentlemen,
people, man, just good gamers. People talking games, man. There's no BS and no.
Yeah, it's true, man. That's true. So, well, gentlemen, thank you again for joining tonight. Always a pleasure to shoot the shit, talk video games with you guys, and we'll be back next week at our regular scheduled time of Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time,
or 9:05.
What?
We go live at 9, but we start at 9:05.
Yeah, we start at 9:05. Yep. I still can't believe you said you called me Strip Club Yoda.
You kind of sounded like Yoda, like what Yoda would sound like at a strip club. Like, yeah. I don't know why that popped in my head.
Yeah, I don't get that either. Like, Peabody, did you think that? Like, did I sound like a Strip Club Yoda?
Yeah, it sounded like a roused Yoda a little bit.
Yeah.
An aroused Yoda. Oh my god.
Yeah, it was getting a little too happy, man.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Ridiculous you all are.
It's creeping me out, man. Let's go.
All right. So yeah, big shout out to everyone again who joined us on the live chat. Thank you. Remember, give us a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already to Basement Radio Arcade Podcast. Thanga bangus. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.